Okay, like a more joyful life at work? Remaining positive at work makes you more joyful, ups your efficiency, and permits you to feel glad for your achievements. You spend a great deal of your day working, and on the off chance that you can't appreciate that time. At that point it will just get increasingly hard to get up in the first part of the day. 1. Step. Having the right attitude. 1. Know why you are working. It is safe to say that you are attempting to live or living to work? Could it be that is keeping you at this specific employment? Do you love the work? Or on the other hand, does the check bolster the family and way of life you love? You have to recollect why your work is significant, particularly when it gets exhausting or troublesome. On the off chance that you can think about no motivation behind why you ought to be working at this particular employment, maybe the best way to remain positive at work is to discover new work. Having a strategy with your life and knowing where you are going is frequently the best spot to begin feeling positive. 2. Never come close yourself with others. Everybody begins at a better place and heads on their own excursion. You have no clue about where others' excursions can get them to. Indiscriminately making a correlation prompts sitting around idly and feeling negative. You can just control your own contemplations and predetermination, so take a shot at that. 3. Stop getting trapped with what's out of your control. The fact of the matter is becoming acquainted with and concentrating on something essential to you. For example, the economy, your market, moves that others may make. That is to state, your internal thoughts and your activities. 4. Don't pay attention to yourself or any other individual as well. More than making yourself a more joyful individual, self-taunting can likewise make you groundbreaking, powerful, and appealing. Having a comical inclination helps put misfortunes in context and advises you that you have a real existence outside of your activity. This ought to basically be an internal mentality as opposed to an outward conduct. Remain as happy as conceivable in your musings. However, attempt to abstain from poking fun at a significant circumstance, especially if the circumstance could have extreme outcomes, or you don't know whether the others around you will be responsive to the portion of silliness. 5. Set aside a couple of moments to whine, however keep it brief. This inclination is a parasite that can snack up your vitality and prosperity. You can take activities to roll out an improvement when you are not happy with this world. Be that as it may, sitting and grumble achieves minimal other than moving a protest out into the open. This can really be a useful method to place issues in context. Yet just in the event that you don't try too hard, spare the whale's stories. State what is at the forefront of your thoughts, and proceed onward to increasingly beneficial contemplations. 6. Smile all the more frequently. Grinning is demonstrated to discharge synthetic substances in your mind that fulfill you, regardless of whether the grin is constrained. All things considered, you should set aside the effort to appreciate however much of your work as could reasonably be expected. Give yourself an opportunity to converse with associates you like. Watch a couple of interesting recordings during lunch, and tune in to music that fulfills you. Thinking positive prompts positive reasoning, not the opposite way around. 7. Treat everybody with benevolence and regard. Being caring to a colleague guarantees that you will get thoughtfulness back. There might be days when individuals are pushed, including you, however realizing that you have the help and fellowship of people around you is an incredible method to release some pressure and feel progressively constructive. People are social creatures, so don't disregard to construct associations with your collaborators. 8. Find openings in times of turmoil or trouble. Concentrate on the can-do as opposed to can't of circumstances. An incredible method to begin is by taking a gander at issues as circumstances as opposed to disappointments. Change starts with vision. And vision possibly starts to turn into a reality when it is said for all to hear. You have to examine issues and disappointments with an eye towards personal development. Not criticizing yourself for past mix-ups. Awful occasions occur at each office, and remaining positive isn't tied in with staying away from issues, yet developing from them. 2. Step. Making work enjoyable. 1. Think about how you can add to your work. What one-of-a-kind abilities, points of view, or thoughts would you be able to use to make your work environment far and away superior? Show some drive for your work. Customizing it and letting you carry out the responsibilities that you love the most. Having a stake in your organization's objectives. And crucial, make your work a lot simpler to join with relish. These objectives can be close to home as well. Regardless of whether you don't adore the organization you work for. Stepping up is an incredible method to improve your aptitudes and resume for the following occupation. 2. Know your cutoff points at work. On the off chance that you realize that a task is going to cause you unjustifiable worry. For reasons unknown, don't take it. This doesn't imply that you ought to do the absolute minimum of work. It basically implies you have to put your own needs before the necessities of your organization. Try not to take additional work since you are asked, ensure that it is work you need to do and can deal with without harming your personal satisfaction. 3. Personalize your workspace. Set up pictures, get a decent arrangement of earphones and music, and spot some knickknacks around your work area. Give a valiant effort to make the space yours. Not some tasteless office where you come to work. 4. Make sure you deal with your body with food and water. Just eating enough food and drinking enough water might be the most ideal approach to remain positive at work. Feeling ravenous or parched will prompt sleepiness. And that depleted inclination will cut you down all day every day. 5. Stay sorted out yet adaptable. Allow yourself to design, yet don't feel fastened by a calendar. Rather, use association to dodge a minute-ago cutoff times. To keep everything where it ought to be, set up your issues. A spotless, cleaned-up mind begins with a cleaned-up work area and schedule. So set aside some effort to tidy up your life. All things considered, the capacity to move with the punches is essential to keep up an uplifting standpoint. Plans will change, and that is fine, you simply need to change with them. Check off undertakings and occasions as you achieve them. 6. Be dynamic. Get up and move around at any rate once 60 minutes. Sitting in a similar spot throughout the day can immediately get dull. Yet remaining dynamic causes you feel better throughout the day. Go for a stroll on your midday break. Bicycle to and from work a couple of times each week. Or give working a shot before your day of work. At the point when your body feels better, your brain feels better. And exercise is the most ideal approach to get it going. 7. Daydream more. Let your psyche meander every once in a while. This isn't only useful for your psychological wellness, it can even make you increasingly gainful. The contention that wandering off in fantasy land encourages with your work can go back to the 20th century. You can get a one-of-a-kind and serious knowledge when you wander your psyche. 8. Separate work from play. Some of the time your work appears to be amazingly significant in your reality. You're murdering a piece of yourself. Be that as it may, when you let your work snack your protection and respectability. Work is for work, not home, so figure out how to remove yourself. At the point when you leave the workplace or close down on the web, work is finished. Proceed onward to other, increasingly agreeable encounters. Have an intrigue pastime detached with your activity. This is a mind-blowing piece that is absolutely random to work, and ought exclude colleagues or work associates. In the event that you play golf, don't play with your coworkers, except if it's a business-related occasion. If you liked the video, do not forget to subscribe and like. Thanks for watching.